welcome to Tarot and Chill. My name's Nisha, and this is a pick a card reading to find out what spiritual truths should you know about life. I've got 4 groups for you to choose from today. Group 1 is the blue pen. Group 2 is the green pen. Group 3 is the purple pen. And group 4 is the pink pen. Please pause the video now if you need to take a moment to make your choice. Otherwise, I'll see you in your reading. All the timestamps will be below. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonates for you. And if you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in your reading. This reading is for you if you chose the blue pen. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Power reading cards, you have Illusion. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Adventures. From the Vision Quest Tarot, you have the Four of Earth, Security. And Mother of Air. And then from the Field Tarot, you have the Empress. I feel like for you guys right now, it's very important to stay aware of what's very rational and kind of practical and like right in front of your face. It feels like time to focus on what's like really right in front of you. I keep hearing that. It's something really focused on you personally to do with your money and your work and your home. And I feel like you might be getting personal messages about this from spirit through like signs and things like that. I'm hearing for someone there's a particular thing you need to investigate to do with your home or to do with like the circumstances of your birth, I'm hearing. It's something really important for someone watching and I feel like it will help you understand life better. Like there's truths in it and I can't tell you in the reading because you might need to talk to your mother or your birth mother or something along those lines to figure out what really went down. I'm hearing for somebody, it will really help you to like figure out where you're going and what is home for you. Like what does home mean for you versus abroad? And I feel like that's very important for this reading. It's something coming through about where you are versus where other people are. And there may be quite a lot of distance between you and others. And I'm seeing it's like hard to see other people's perspectives sometimes for people. And that might just be a truth about life, is that some people are really miles away from each other in their thinking. And it doesn't mean that they're like bad people because they can't see eye to eye. But maybe they just won't be friends, or maybe they won't want to hang out after work or school or anything like that. But everyone is part of the whole and everyone's important. And I feel like the message that's trying to come through is that sometimes opposing views are important for there to be like a space in the middle where maybe collaboration can happen, I'm hearing. So say you have like for example, with politics, you have like the far right and then the far left, and there's like extremists on either side. And there's like people in the center who have maybe more of a could go either way kind of attitude, and then like maybe like a center left and a center right and so on and so forth. And it feels like that's kind of like a kind of destined thing that happens where it's kind of impossible for everyone to agree, and it feels like maybe the more people come into the center, the more people would start to want to make like the far extreme points of view more known, if you know what I mean. It just feels like one of those truths that everyone is making up part of the whole. Maybe someone's really opposite to you and their opinions are really opposite to you, but it doesn't really matter anyway because maybe you can still find eye to eye on something. Or maybe you just don't need to talk to them and don't need to engage with their opinion. Maybe some of you guys are getting stressed about people who live different lives to you or have opposite ways or don't see eye to eye with you, and it feels like you can just separate yourself more from them and they can separate themselves from you. And maybe you don't need to pay so much mind to what they're doing and just focus again like on what's right in front of you and what's going on in your own life and what's going on in your own house and your own mind, rather than what others are thinking and what others are saying, because there's always going to be disagreement, there's always going to be far out opinions and opinions that are the opposite of yours. And then maybe then some common ground in the middle where people can see eye to eye. So sometimes it might be nice to focus on common ground. If, say, you have like a particular individual that you're not seeing eye to eye with, maybe you can find at least one area where you see eye to eye and you're compatible and you can still care for them and still love them. I'm hearing for some of you it's about your mother or a cousin or someone who's like abroad from you. There is something coming through about like home and abroad. I'm not sure if it's someone you're thinking about moving very far away. And it's a message about like you can travel everywhere in the earth. But if you don't take care of your own stuff within you first, it's not really going to make a difference if you live in, say, like Australia or China or Singapore or the UK or Afghanistan or Nigeria or anywhere else on earth. But that being said, there are different cultures and different customs. And for some of you, you might need to expose yourself to different, I'm hearing different languages and different speech patterns and different people and different heroes and different role models and different perspectives, like maybe the ones that do alter from yours, maybe the ones that are adjacent but different. It feels like that would be very expansive for you, and you might learn to see through certain things that maybe you had been taught or you'd learned, or that is maybe common in a certain place but not common in another place. And you might find that certain things are just preferential for you. Like maybe, for example, for me, my country is rainy and cold a lot of the time, and I might prefer to live like Thailand or somewhere where it's like 30 degrees year round. That'd probably suit my temperament and my wellness levels more than the current environment. So it's like maybe nothing else would change except my vitamin D levels and my sunshine happiness. So it might be for you, there's like a certain place on earth that's calling to you. It might be worth looking into that place and seeing if the people get on with you and if the climate gets on with you. It feels like there's a lot more to explore than what you've already known. And some of you, I'm feeling there's like a temptation to feel like you do know it all and to feel like you're kind of, I feel like, what's the word I'm trying to use? Like you're seeing everything when maybe there's still things that are very unknown to you. And I feel like exploring and having a willingness to accept other perspectives would really help you to make your own life better and help you to expand and grow and learn more. And yeah, I do really feel this sense of like spirit wanting me to tell you to explore other cultures and other ways of thinking and other ways of doing things in a respectful way, not like trying to appropriate anyone's culture or anything like that. Because that's really offensive a lot of the time. More like appreciating other people and just admiring them and asking questions that are polite and trying to do research and studying history and maybe learning about what foods are beneficial for you and things like that, and how other people worship and how other people pray and all of that kind of stuff. It's just like getting to know other people on a kind of deep level and asking the right kind of questions, I want to say, and getting involved in the right discussions. But yeah, I feel like there's a lot of stuff to focus on in terms of material stuff like money and business. And again, home is coming through. And I want to say, for some of you, I feel like there's a kind of idea that's coming through to you that may feel less secure than what you're used to. But it feels like it's kind of tempting anyway. I feel like there's something to do with a message that's coming through from, it feels like a kind of like a purpose that's coming through for someone that feels like a bit distant for you right now, but I feel like it's swooping up on you quicker than you know. And it's something that will bring security, but it also might be something that doesn't bring as much security as you'd once hoped or thought it would bring. Like what's coming through is maybe some things, with this illusion card, it's like some things may not be as rich as they seem. So say you've grown up wanting to be like a star athlete or something, and you always thought you'd get like a really good salary. Maybe you get to be one and you find that the salary's really good, but maybe it's just like not as rich of a life as you thought it would be. Like maybe you realize like the money's great, but it's not like retiring early money. Like you still have to work and maybe the work's still hard and all of that. So yeah, I do feel like there's some little notes that you can find from maybe talking to other people or just like the experiences that are going to come soon, where you, I want to say, learn the value of money and the value of hard work and what it takes to be successful in the industry you want to be in. And I feel like there is some kind of like a win or success on the cards for you, but it feels like it may be a bit deceptive in the way that maybe it seems like it's going to be better than it is. And then when you actually get it, it's maybe still like worth its weight in gold, But for you personally, you may have been like overweighing it before. So it feels like spirit wants you to be very focused on practical matters and hard work, and I want to say hard work and focus over like manifestation and that kind of attitude that I know is a bit popular right now, which is kind of like living in delusion. Spirit is very much discouraging that right now because it feels like you need to be more educated and more focused on self and how you affect others and how you're part of the whole. And it feels like you will get to success quicker, especially financial success or success with interpersonal relationships, if you focus more on like doing the groundwork and not dreaming, if you know what I mean. Like try to stay very practical and focused and know that it's like a marathon and not a sprint. So be prepared to be in something for the long run. So yeah, I would say that a spiritual truth about life is that things are not always what they're cracked up to be. And some of you might have a purpose or a passion that you want that maybe it's not really like a purpose or a passion, but more something you thought would be like financially viable. And I feel like it is, but it's just like very much smaller than what you might think it would be. So you might want to readjust your expectations and maybe affirm what you really are passionate about to focus more on that. But anyway, I feel like there's a lot of things you can do to take care of yourself right now. And I feel like life is about, I want to say about playing fair and about taking care of your part in the whole. And for you to do that right now, I do feel like you need some time for reflection. But you also maybe need to communicate with people more about things that are relevant to you on your own personal search for information. So it's like things I can't tell you in the reading, but maybe like your mother or your sister or your auntie or your uncle or your cousin or your friend could. So yeah, I hope you will take the messages that resonate and leave the rest. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. I make a lot of videos like this. If you like a personal reading, the information will be below. And you can also find details of my Patreon and my PayPal for donations. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the green pen. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Power reading cards you have Davis. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle you have Truth. From the Vision Quest Tarot you have the Three of Water, the Five of Earth, and the King of Discs. I'm seeing there's some really important things that you will reveal about your own truth, I want to say, like your own understandings of things that you will find come to you through your own meditation, through your own journey, I want to say. And it feels like it's very individual for you, the things that you need to learn as you go on your journey. And I feel like it's very internal, the process that you're going to go through to understand things. Like, I guess the spiritual truths will not be able to be told to you through another channel other than your own sense of divine connection. So do please try to meditate more. I want to say there's a lot of power in that. There's a lot of power in taking time to be in silence and listening to your own wisdom. It feels like there also might be a very important teacher for you who is perhaps like someone who's good with money. And I feel like you guys might have had some very difficult experiences. Like I'm feeling poverty and scarcity that maybe goes back very far, like maybe 5 generations of poverty. And I'm hearing like wealth inequality, maybe disabilities and things like that have affected your income and affected your ability to make ends meet. And I do feel like that might have caused like a disappointing like scarcity mentality in your mind, where it's hard for you to manifest and it's hard for you to think abundantly and it's hard for you to get all the fruits of your labor, I want to say. But yeah, I'm seeing that you're going to maybe meet someone or start interacting with someone or get to know someone better who's a really good mentor when it comes to finances. It's like someone who can help you to tackle that mentality of not being good enough or not having enough, not finding what you need, to teach you how to be abundant and know that you already have that. And I feel like that's also a truth I can tell you in this reading, is that the more you feel like you already have it, the more you're grateful, the more you say thanks, the more you, really just like be grateful for the things that you do have, even if it's just food and water and a seat and a house to be in and a phone to, or a laptop to watch this video on. It's just the small things that you need to be grateful for to get your mind out of a state of disappointment and difficulties and scarcity and maybe even poverty. And I know it's much harder if you are in poverty than if you're in a middle class environment or an upper middle class environment or a rich environment, let's say. It's much harder if you are going through a difficult time, and if, say, you live in a neighborhood where everyone else is going through a difficult time, it's very hard to even imagine what it would be like to have your bills paid and not worry and not stress and not find that you don't have what you need. Because, I feel like in your neighborhood and where you live, there's people who are, I want to say, like on a spiritual level and a material level, they're kind of coming across as like scavengers. Like the kind of people that don't want to go out and get it themselves, or they can't, maybe, like they might just be in like generational poverty and hardship. But for some of you, they're just the kind of people that want to like prey on others, other people's money, other people's finances, other people's truths, other people's information, other people's words, other people's success. And I'm seeing that you may just need to be aware of these people so that you can make sure that you're sharing things with the right people and not the wrong people. But I do feel like wherever there is good, it will attract those kind of people. It's like, say you have like a really nice gathering full of food, and it's like, say it's like a free dinner that you're hosting or something. It's going to attract a lot of people that maybe just want a free dinner and they might not actually need it. They might not actually be hungry, but they just want a free dinner, and then they might try and take advantage and get more free things because you've given away like a dinner. So do be careful if you live in that kind of environment, or if you have those kind of people around you. I feel like you do need to be careful how much you do share with them. It might be good to test with, like, say, try one time and then see how they respond to it. Like, are they begging for more? Or are they really grateful that you've handed something to them and helped them? Are they really trustworthy and loyal? Or are they kind of preying on you? It's like to be determined by your own sense of judgment and intuition. But I do feel like you have very good friends around you, as well as maybe some negative characters who are trying to either spoil things or, like, I'm hearing like get the spoils or eat off of someone else's plate kind of thing. But I do see really good friends, and I see people who are abundant in their mentality and people who you can trust. So just know that there's always going to be a bit of everything in life, and you can't always have just 100% abundance and not attract like maybe a bit of negativity as a result of that. It's just one of those things to be aware of. I do feel like you're protected, and you can pray to protect yourself even more and make very smart decisions with your money, I want to say, because it feels like some of you are having a difficult time financially. And I do feel like there's a lot coming. There's a lot of abundance coming for you, but you might need to find the way forwards for yourself. You might need to, I wanted to say, listen to advice that you've been given by people who are like healers, but also very practical, rational people in your environment. Because it feels like there's maybe some business advice to take, or some career advice, some money advice, maybe even things like how to buy cheaper food or how to make things with your leftovers. I'm hearing there's like little small things you can do to make more go around, like make a little bit go a longer way, make things stretch for yourself more. And I feel like for some of you, you're very abundant right now. You may be doing something where you're very successful and maybe at the height of your profession, and I'm not saying it's going to go away anytime soon, but you might be finding sometimes you're not doing that well at the end of the month financially, even though you had loads coming in. So it might be good to try and figure out ways to make things stretch, make things last longer, and be more grateful for what you already have, because I feel like that will help you to manifest more. Rather than focusing on what you don't have or what you need, it's very important to be grounded in the present moment and just be grateful and try to be generous even if you don't feel like you have enough or have as much. But be careful who you're being generous to, because I do feel like there may be some people who are not very good to share to or to give anything to in the first place. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the reading group too. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button below and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. I make a lot of videos like this. If you like a personal reading, the information will be below in the description box. And you can also find details of my Patreon where I have more exclusive content. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the purple pen. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Power reading cards, you have Unconditional Love reversed. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Patience. From the Vision Quest Tarot, you have the Three of Air. And the Ace of Earth. And then from the Field Tarot, you have the Five of Wands. And the Three of Discs. I'm feeling like right now there's a need for you to know that in general, I do feel like most people do not have much capacity for unconditional love. And I know that's really sad and it's like a really harsh message for Spirit to give us. But I do feel like that's kind of for the best. It's for like self-protection reasons. It's so for you, for example, so you can't love someone so much that it becomes to the detriment of yourself, for example. To be able to stop loving somebody, it kind of gives you the ability to protect yourself and take yourself far away. And it's kind of like you maybe learn to dislike them so much that you want to put a barrier between yourself and them. So yeah, do please take it as when people are meant to stop loving each other, they will. And I don't know if that's for someone specific because you're going through a breakup or something, but please do know that it might take time, but you will get over it and you will start to feel better soon. Also, I want to say that it feels like there may be a lot of kind of disastrous, conflicting kind of stuff that happens in life in general at this time. I don't know if it's in your personal environment or on more of a grand scheme, and it might feel, I feel like it might feel like to some people like there's like a kind of lost love. I'm feeling that sensation, like love isn't real, or love doesn't exist, or love doesn't live here anymore. That's the kind of vibe that's coming through. And I want to say that's kind of like a real sensation. It feels like people in general, like this, the message Spirit wants me to tell you, is that people are more focused on money and trying to be better than everyone, like trying to compete with other people, trying to look good on the gram, trying to stand out in a way that's kind of for personal acclaim. And it's like they don't really care about other people and their feelings and what's going on with someone else. And I know this is a really sad message that Spirit's giving me, but it feels like for right now, you need to focus on yourself the way that everyone else is focusing on themselves. So it's kind of like for me to give you this message so that you become focused on your own money and focused on your own work. And don't worry about trying to fit in with other people so much, because you need to realize that they're all trying to fit in with each other. And it's like the more people do that, the more people don't stand out or have anything better than anyone else to offer, if you know what I mean. It's like they're all trying to do the same thing in the hopes of looking better than one another, when actually it feels like, to be honest, they've not like stood out in a way that actually matters with like hard work and things like that. So I feel like for you guys, it might be that your work is what is making you stand out and others like you. And I feel like you do have people similar to you that you can find. But I'm here to tell you that they're a bit of a scarcity, like they're a bit rare. People like you who still have the capacity to love and aren't just trying to fit in with everyone else and do focus on, I want to say, the good of what you do, like trying to create things from a place of love and passion rather than just for material gain or to try and outdo someone else. But that being said, I do feel like it's important for you to focus on money. It's important for you to try and grow your income to be able to stand a chance. I'm hearing it's like there's a lot of difficult situations, and I feel like it might be quite a difficult time coming up for some people in certain places where there are like famines and droughts and things going on at the moment. So yeah, it might be important for you personally to just like up your material resources to make sure you're very protected against any kind of grand scale things that might happen. I also want to say to some of you, it's important to note that, as I said, like people don't necessarily have unconditional love. And I do feel like for some of you, you may have like distanced yourself from people who loved you, and you may have distanced yourself from, I want to say, God, and from like things that would benefit you. And it is like spirit is very patient and spirit has a lot of time. But if you're one of those people that's kind of said like fuck spirit, I hate spirit over and over again and never like apologized, or I don't know, like come back into the love, it can like leave you. Let's just put it like that. So if you do kind of like hate people enough, like they will leave you. Like if there's a specific person you've been like sending hate by force to, they are going to kind of like block you out and shut you out and not love you forever. And I'm sorry to say that because it feels like someone's really mad at me for saying that. But it's one of those things where people can have like endless patience for someone else. But if they keep disappointing them time and time again, that person's more likely to go and grow something healthy and productive somewhere else rather than staying with like the toxic, unproductive, helpful, unhealthy things. So same goes to you if you are in disappointing situations with, I want to say like degrading people, like people who degrade you or people who don't love you, people who seem like incapable of love. And if you're like waiting and waiting and waiting for them to change, I feel like for you it might be more productive to just grow something else elsewhere, even if that means being alone to do that. Because I feel like there's going to be a lot of competition for you if you are someone who still has the ability to love. You'll probably find yourself in high demand. And I do feel like you're going to find someone who does work well with you. And same for like not romantic relationships, but like friendships and colleague relationships and work stuff. I do feel like you're going to find really, really powerful, amazing souls who kind of match you, but it just might take a lot of patience and time to grow on your own. Like for some of you, you might have a lot of development work to do just by yourself so that you can match with people who have something productive to offer you. I don't know if you watched the last group, but I want to say there's like people who want to prey on others everywhere, and there's people who are kind of like scammers and stuff. So I want to say to you guys, try and keep yourself protected and safe from those kind of people. And do be careful of what you're growing and what you're nurturing and how many people you do want to show it to or impress with it. It might be better to keep it to yourself and keep it safe. Things like your savings account balance or how much money you're worth. It's just better to keep it to yourself because people are funny with things like that. So sorry these truths are quite material. It just feels like it was needed for you guys today. But I hope you enjoyed the reading. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you did. And contact me for a personal reading if that wasn't enough info for you. You can find the details below. You can also find details of my Patreon where we have more readings like this, which are exclusive to Patreon, so you can't ever see them anywhere else. If you liked the reading, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. Thanks for watching, and I hope to see you again soon. Bye. This reading is for you if you chose the pink pen. Let's see what cards you have. From the Sacred Power reading cards, you have Freedom. From the Sacred Destiny Oracle, you have Purification. From the Vision Quest Tarot, you have the Eight of Earth. And the Five of Air. And then from the Field Tarot, you have the Six of Swords. It feels like there's a lot of different potentials for you in this lifetime. I feel like a lot of you guys, this is like really random that's coming through on this reading. It feels like a lot of you guys have a lot of different potential careers or ideas that you could explore and things that you're really good at, and almost like too much for one lifetime, I want to say. Or at least for right now, it feels like you might have too much. And it feels like this reading wants to tell you that pretty much anything you do for work, like anything you intend to do, anything you put your mind to, can lead to success if you work hard enough, if you manage to overcome any fear, if you manage to overcome negative thoughts and negative circumstances and just keep going no matter what. Any career can bring you success, but it does seem like there's certain ones that would bring you more stress than others. And I do feel like there's some that maybe you're just like closer to achieving right now or closer to being in, or maybe you're already doing well with, or something like that. And I feel like there may be new ideas popping up that you may want to explore. For some of you, it feels like your life is in such great order with regards to like your money and your routine and everything. But there's no reason to be afraid of starting new things, because it feels like you might be a bit bored if you're kind of used to the same routine and everything's been the same for ages and you feel like really comfortable with it. If you're having like loads of new ideas come up, there's no reason to ignore them and push them away and be afraid of pursuing them. It just might be a thing of like a don't quit your day job kind of thing, to just keep going forward with your routine, but since you have like a bit of extra space and time, to make use of that to explore your new ideas without fear or judgment. And for those of you where you don't have time to explore all of them, where it's more of a case of just whatever you are able to work on, and whatever you're not able to, you might have to just like take it with you for later. And I know this is not a very deep spiritual truth, but it feels like someone really needed to hear that right now. So yeah, I just make these readings when spirit tells me to, and it felt like a message that was important for someone and it resonated. I feel like things are never black and white. I don't know if some of you guys watched number 1. You might want to watch number 1. But yeah, you should not be afraid of finding out the opposite side of the spectrum. For some of you might be those kind of people where you like to, I'm going to put it in like a funny way, but like love and light a lot. You like to, I want to say manifest a lot, and you want to stay positive all the time. But I feel like it's not very grounded all the time to continue that kind of attitude, when you may need to be a bit more critical sometimes and a bit more willing to say your less positive thoughts, a bit more willing to focus on the less positive things. It feels like that would really benefit you, because you might have got into a kind of like cluttered situation with your life. Like say if you've got loads of friends and maybe you have fun with them sometimes, but if you're really honest, you might notice that some of them are like really toxic, or they're bullies, or they have bad habits that are rubbing off on you, or they say really mean things behind your back, or they try and sabotage your wins in life. You may have like loads of hangers on and friends that you've been carrying with you, or other things like behaviors or ways of thinking, and maybe like potential things for yourself that you're carrying with you that you want to do in the future, like we were talking about in the beginning with like hobbies and ideas. But yeah, it feels like carrying all of that stuff with you is preventing you from further progress, because it's like what you've got is too much, and getting rid of some stuff would make you free to explore more. And for you to be able to know what to get rid of, you have to look into the negative. You have to focus on things that are wrong and things that are not as you want them to be, without just like trying to act as if, or think your way out of it, or manifest things being better. It's more a case of being very honest with yourself and accepting the fact that you can't appreciate, let's say like sunlight, you can't appreciate sunlight without having a night of darkness. Like, would you appreciate the morning light when it comes if you hadn't have had a night of darkness? Like, none of us would be able to sleep if there wasn't darkness. So for some of you, it's like you need to acknowledge your shadow side for you to be able to move forwards, and your own sadnesses and the things that are maybe not going well for you in life, like things that you maybe have fear about and you maybe don't want to acknowledge your own fear, because I'm hearing like there's like a fear of negative thinking in this collective right now. I'm not going to lie, it kind of bothers me because I'm not allowed to give readings the way I want to by some of you guys. Like, you'll complain at me like, spirit's not meant to be mean to me. And it's like, it's not mean for you to be told that something's not 100% wonderful and perfect all the time. Nothing can be, and it's why the tarot cards are not 100% positive. If you want those kind of readings, please do go somewhere else, because I don't have time or energy for that. I only give readings when I'm guided by spirit. And for some of you guys, it's time for you to like move on from that way of thinking, and I hope this reading's like prodded you to do that. Because you'll find it easier to be grateful for positive things if you don't have like a bunch of thoughts that you're fighting off all the time, like negative thoughts, like, oh no, you're not allowed to think that, like, don't think that, like, so and so is a bully to me. No, 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 they're fine, they're lovely. Like, come on, no, they are a bully. And I really feel like you're going to have a lot of a easier transition into your future when you do stop lying to yourself. If that's you, because I know not everyone resonated with that and some of you have run away now. But yeah, it's time to cleanse yourself of all of those toxic patterns and like maybe toxic friends and things that you maybe want to do but you can't really do right now. It just feels like time to put it off for later. And yeah, I feel like it's important to be able to move on with things as well as trying to move on against them, I want to say. And I know that's a strange message, but sometimes it is like a case of store things for later and not use them right now. So I don't know if some of you might be trying to get rid of maybe too much, and Spirit might want to guide you to maybe save some select things for later and don't try to get rid of everything just because you have a bit too much to deal with right now. So yeah, I hope that made sense for you. Please don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you like this reading and leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated for you. If you're not already subscribed, please hit the subscribe button and check out the other content on my channel if you're interested. If you'd like a personal reading, the information will be below. And you can also find details of my Patreon where we have more exclusive content. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you again soon. Bye.